The sun rises over the Serengeti, painting the flat plains in hues of ochre and deep gold. This land is ruled by instinct, by the raw, uncompromising code of the predator and the prey. But today, we explore a different truth. That compassion often speaks the loudest where we least expect it. Our story unfolds near a Maasai boma, where life is measured in the cycle of the rains and the movements of the herds. Near the edge of their settlement, beneath a lone acacia tree, stands a humble, weathered statue of the Virgin Mary. It was left decades ago by an early mission or a devout ranger. And to the Maasai, it has become a revered spot, a symbol of protection and profound kindness, honored alongside their own spiritual traditions. This morning, the village froze. A lioness, Asha, known for her fierce solitude, limped out of the dawn haze. She was not hunting. She walked directly to the statue, her body trembling, in a gesture that defies all natural law. Asha rose on her hind legs, pressing her massive front paws together against her chest. She looked up at the serene face of the statue and let out a single, raw, broken cry, a plea, not a roar. She then looked toward the Maasai elder, Lekishan, her golden eyes conveying a desperate command. Follow me. Lekishan, draped in his deep red shuka, felt the weight of the moment. Lions are spirits of the wild, not seekers of sanctuary. Yet, the anguish in Asha's posture was undeniable. The community gathered silent. To follow a desperate predator was madness, but Lekishan's memory drew him forward, guided by the profound respect he held for one man, Mzee Juma. Mzee Juma was the elder ranger, a silent guardian whose tenure on the Serengeti spanned half a century. He was a bridge between the old ways and the new, known for his deep, almost spiritual connection to the animals. Lekishan recalled a story. Years ago, Mzee Juma, risking everything, had carefully freed a lion cub, perhaps Asha herself, from a poacher's wire snare, tending to its wounds for days before releasing it. His philosophy was simple. Protection is earned through kindness. This shared history was the only reason Lekishan decided to trust the inexplicable. The spirit of the savannah is speaking through the beast, he announced. We follow. The small group of Maasai, cloaked in their traditional colors, followed Asha's determined, limping path. The silence was thick, broken only by the crunch of their sandals on the baked earth. After a tense trek, Asha stopped abruptly, her body low and anxious. Beneath a cluster of thorn bushes lay Mzee Juma, his uniform worn but tidy. His face was etched with pain, his hand clutching his chest. A severe, sudden cardiac episode. Asha immediately went into a protective circling dance, nudging his shoulder and then turning her gaze back to the Maasai. Her eyes, those same golden eyes that had stared up at the statue moments before, now silently begged the humans. The profound realization struck the Maasai. She had not come to the symbol of compassion for herself, but for the man who embodied that kindness. The prayer at the statue had been a desperate relay of life. Their ancient code, their deep respect for life, demanded immediate action. The crisis demanded a collaboration that defied all rules of the wild. While one runner sprinted to radio for the reserve's medical team, the others stabilized the ranger, their hands trembling but steady. Asha stood guard. Her low, powerful growls were a constant, tense sound, but she allowed the Maasai to tend to Mzee Juma, recognizing their gentle touch. She was not a threat. She was a partner in the rescue. The arrival of the medical land cruiser brought chaos. The sound of the engine and the presence of new humans startled Asha, and she instinctively lunged forward, teeth bared, protecting her charge. The medics froze. This was the moment Lekishan's wisdom was vital. He stepped forward, speaking softly in Ma, a soothing, rhythmic language used for calming cattle. He addressed the lioness, bridging the gap with trust. Slowly, Asha lowered her head and stepped aside, allowing the oxygen and stretcher to approach, though her eyes never left Mzee Juma. As the medics lifted the frail ranger, Asha let out a sharp, mournful whimper. When they slid Mzee Juma into the back of the Land Cruiser, Asha's devotion overruled all caution. She leaped up, forcing her way into the vehicle, refusing to be left behind. The medics were horrified, but the driver, moved by the unprecedented display, made a life-altering decision. She stays. She's not leaving him. The doors slammed shut on the most extraordinary ambulance ride the Serengeti had ever seen. Through the bone-jarring ride across the dusty plains, Asha was Mzee Juma's anchor. She pressed her large, powerful body against the stretcher rails, her golden gaze fixed on his face. Every shallow breath he took seemed to steady her own wild heart. Every falter caused her to whimper, placing her paw lightly on the frame. The young medic in the vehicle later recounted the experience with tearful awe. It wasn't just a physical bond, it was a soul connection. She was fueling his will to live. The image of the lioness riding beside the man she saved became a silent testament to the boundless nature of gratitude. The clinic's entry was immediate pandemonium. Nurses screamed and security scrambled as the lioness calmly stepped out of the vehicle and escorted the stretcher.
Stop.
Dr. Nandi, the head physician, a woman of science and order, halted the chaos. She studied Asha's demeanor, the focused, non-aggressive intensity, and made a choice based on empathy, not protocol. "Let her stay in the corridor," she commanded. "She is guarding him. Do not provoke her." Asha began her second vigil. She lay across the cool tile floor of the quiet hallway outside the emergency room, her head resting on her paws. The antiseptic scent of the clinic mingled strangely with the wild, earthy scent she carried. Hours crawled by. Staff offered her water and meat, but she ignored it all, her gaze fixed on the closed doors. The fear in the hospital slowly evaporated, replaced by profound respect and hushed awe. People watched a story of pure, unrelenting loyalty unfold. The entire clinic became a sanctuary, united by the fate of the old ranger and the extraordinary creature who refused to abandon him. Inside, Dr. Nandi fought to stabilize Mzee Juma's heart. Outside, Asha was the symbol of his fight. Her presence was a silent, powerful demand for life. The story, passed through phone calls and hushed words, began to touch the hearts of people far beyond the Serengeti. It became a living parable that the deepest loyalty can be found in the most unexpected places. The doctor later admitted that the lioness's vigil became a kind of spiritual medicine for the staff, reminding them of the preciousness of every single life. At last, the door swung open. Mzee Juma, pale but with a stable rhythm, was wheeled out. Asha rose instantly, moving with quiet grace. She approached the gurney, lowered her head, and offered the most intimate gesture possible. She gently touched her nose to his frail, wrinkled hand. His eyes fluttered open. He saw her, the golden gaze that had saved him. With a faint smile, he whispered, "You kept your promise, my friend." It was a sacred, tear-filled moment, the culmination of a bond forged in shared kindness and ultimate loyalty. Mzee Juma's recovery was a slow, deliberate march toward health. He knew his life had been saved not just by modern medicine, but by a timeless act of selfless devotion. Asha, meanwhile, remained his shadow. For over a week, she lingered near the edge of the reserve's land, waiting for glimpses of him, her vigil continuing until he was strong enough to be discharged. The day he left the clinic, Mzee Juma insisted on walking out, cane in hand. He saw Asha waiting beneath a distant acacia tree. He raised his hand, not in fear, but in profound gratitude. Asha lifted her massive head, staring at him, a long, knowing exchange of golden eyes and aged human eyes. The debt was repaid, the bond fulfilled. Slowly, gracefully, Asha turned and walked away, disappearing into the vastness of the savannah. At the boundary of the wild, she looked back once more, a final acknowledgement. And then, she was gone, leaving the world forever changed by her prayer. The story became an instant legend, whispered by the Maasai, shared globally through the screens of the world. It was a powerful counter-narrative to the brutality of the wild, a testament to a higher law. Every morning, Mzee Juma, cane in hand, walked to the small Virgin Mary statue. He would pause, touch his heart, and offer his thanks for the miracle of compassion that reached him through the plea of a lioness. This is more than a remarkable story. It is a profound lesson in connection. It asks us to challenge our assumptions about the world, about the beings we label as other. It proves that kindness is a universal language, and that the spirit of loyalty knows no species boundary. Asha did not pray to stone. She prayed to the idea of compassion the statue represented, trusting humanity to honor it. If Mzee Juma and Asha can forge this deep a bond, imagine the barriers we can break in our own lives. This incredible story is an invitation to choose kindness over fear and empathy over difference. Click the link below to support the dedicated rangers and conservationists working to protect the Serengeti, people who embody Mzee Juma's spirit every day. Or share this video and tell us, what unexpected act of kindness changed your world? Let's honor the law of the heart together.